Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of So Tell Us Time. We're super excited to be here with you today. It's going to be a great day. This is going to be a great episode because we are going to help you refocus on what you should be focused on. Today, we're talking about business is built on problems. As business owners, we should be problem solvers. That's what we should be doing, is solving our customers' problem, their biggest problem or multiple problems. But often in our marketing, and Troy's going to get into all of this, we don't focus on the right things, which is the problem that we solve. So today, that's what we're talking about. Troy, take it away.
All right. So like Trevor said, we're going to be talking about how to not only solve people's problems, but how to market your business in a way that they know that you solve their problems. And I'm just going to give you an example. For example, let's say a pest control company. A pest control company, what do? You take care of the pests. You get rid of the pests, right? But you got to sell me on that, right? My problem is not that I have pests out in my backyard. My problem is that my pests are getting in my house and it's freaking out my wife and my kids, right? So you got to solve the problem, right? And the problem that I see as the consumer, not necessarily the problem that you see as the business owner. So we're going to talk about how to identify the problem, how to understand the problem, and then most importantly, how to market the problem. So step number one, identifying the problem. Now, again, you might be saying to yourself, well, I know what problem my clients have because I provide this service for them. But let's really identify the problem. First, it needs to be a problem that really needs to be solved, right? You know, you can't build a business on a problem that isn't that big of a deal. It needs to affect enough people to make it a real business, right? Meaning that if you're going to be targeting the masses, there's got to be a lot of people that feel that pain in their life in order for you to make money. Now, if you're going for something that's super high end and you're like, look, I build, $1 million pools and that's where I make my money. Okay, excellent. That's a much smaller market that you're going to go after, right? A smaller number of people have that problem of I need $1 million pool. So, you're going to have to build your business according to that. So you got to really know what business you're in, right? And how many people are affected by the problem that you're solving. The next thing is that the cost needs to make sense compared to the benefit. And I was thinking about this and I'm like, how can I really explain cost versus benefit in this situation? And the thought that came to my mind is million-mile tires. How cool would it be if someone made tires that could go 1,000,000 miles?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, right? That's like way better than the majority of the tires out on the market, than any tire on the market. So that would be really cool, right? But what am I willing to pay for 1,000,000-mile tires? Because when you really start to think about it, do I really need tires that last 1,000,000 miles on my car? Because is my car going to drive 1,000,000 miles?
Right.
Probably not. I'm going to get a new car before I ever hit 1,000,000 miles. So in this situation, it doesn't make a lot of sense to build 1,000,000-mile tire when the majority of people drive a car for less than 100,000 miles. So they don't need 1,000,000-mile tire on that 100,000-mile car that they're going to get rid of. So it's important to make sure that you understand, the problem that you're solving in that case, right? And the cost of what it's going to cost versus the benefit that they're going to get from it. So that's identifying the problem. Step number 2, understanding the problem and being able for the public to understand the problem. So can you clearly, this is what you need to ask yourself, can you clearly and simply articulate what the problem is? Right? When you're out there and you're trying to sell one of your services to a potential client, is it easy for you to explain to them, here's the problem you have? And they're going to go, yep, you're absolutely right. That's the problem I have. Right? And will the general public see your product or service as a solution to that problem? That's really important as well. Now, you might be thinking like, well, this sounds like stuff that I would need to do if I'm about to start a business. And you're absolutely right. You need to think about these things if you're thinking about starting a business. But you also need to think about these things when it comes to maybe adding a new service to your business, right? There might be a problem that your clients have that you could solve and make a lot of money charging them to solve that problem. But you're not even thinking about that problem because you're only focused on the problem that you solve right now, right? Or maybe you're going, ooh, if I could like sell this to my clients, I could make a bunch of money. But is it really a problem that they need solved, right? So even as long-time business owners, we always need to be thinking about these things every time we think about rolling out a new service or a new product to our existing customers and to our potential customers. All right, Trevor, before we get into the marketing side of it, is there anything that you want to add to those two topics?
I think that you hit the nail on the head of that. You kind of need to always be analyzing. Do you still understand what the problem is, right? Because the problem shifts and changes as, economies change, as life changes, as people, their families change. I mean, everything like the world is ever changing. And so we need to make sure that we're always reevaluating. Do we understand what our customer's problem still is? Is it still the same as it's been?
Yep.
And if not, what did it change to? And then again, are we addressing that problem? And I think that that's a good thing, because people will have been in business for 25, 30 plus years, and they've really never changed anything. They haven't changed, systems. They haven't changed chemicals, products. They haven't changed tools, all sorts of things. And it's like, well, in 25 years, let me tell you something. We've been in business for 25 years, and our business has evolved many a times. It has actually morphed into something new several times in 25 years. And so I would assume that, in most industries, that's going to happen. So make sure that you are looking at your business on I would say at least every couple of years and say, okay, let's do an evaluation. Are we still taking care and solving the problem my customers have, or has that problem changed and I'm not addressing it anymore?
I love that, because that actually made me think about something. So about a problem that wasn't a problem, but now it's a problem, and someone made a lot of money off of it. And that is that product called the Squatty Potty. If you've ever seen the Squatty Potty on Shark Tank, it's basically just this little plastic stool that goes around the bottom of your toilet so that your knees get lifted up a little bit higher to put you in a better position to go number 2.
I never knew I wasn't going potty the proper way.
Right? So it's funny. I remember seeing this, I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. Like, this is so dumb. And I started, but they did in just a few minutes, they did a great job being able to explain the problem. Hey, look, thousands of years ago, there were no toilets. Everyone squatted down and they went to the bathroom. And that's the position our body is meant to be in. And they didn't have all of these gut issues that we have today. And now we created these toilets and we've messed ourselves up. And so we need this little stool that goes there to put us in the right position. And I was like, oh my gosh, like very quickly,
makes sense, man.
They explained it. And it's like, okay. But I still was like skeptical. I'm like, no, this is not going to work, right? As far as like, they're not going to be able to sell this. This is dumb. Yeah. And that's going to go and lead us into the next part of it. But before we do, they did sell it. In fact, I just looked it up. $222 million in sales for the Squatty Potty.
Oh my gosh.
Almost $250 million sold for a problem that none of us knew we had.
Yep.
Right? And I'm not even sure, maybe we do or we don't. I don't even know.
But that's amazing.
A lot of people bought it, right? So now
my wife, I saw the commercial for it, and I was like, well, that makes sense. And so I told my wife, I said, hey, let's get a Squatty Potty. And she's like, what in the heck is that? So I showed her, and she was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not having more clutter in, we're not having clutter. She's not a clutter bug at all. And so she does not like additional things. And she's like, that's just gross. That's just one more thing to be gross in the bathroom, and everything.
She's got to clean.
She's like, you know what? There's a trash can next to the toilet. Just slide the trash can over, put your feet up on that. And I was like, oh man. So I don't know. I don't know. Does the Squatty Potty work? I don't know. If you guys know out there, let me know.
Well, I'll tell you what does work. They were able to clearly identify and
Yes.
tell the public about this problem and then solve the problem, right? So let's get into the marketing of that. How do you do that, right? So how do you market a problem? And you need to first, you focus on the pain point. That is so important. You need to bring up the pain point. You need to describe the pain point. You need to remind them of the pain point, and you need to just sit there and like poke the pain point. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, doesn't that hurt? You need a solution to that, right?
You know what's funny is some people, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that kind of marketing. I don't like that tactic, you know? And it's like, no, listen, the thing is, whether you like it or not, your customer has that pain point. And you got to look at it from a different perspective. I have to sometimes train some of our clients that you are solving the pain point. So yes, you're going to bring the pain point, you know, to the surface so that you can, you know, also solve that pain point for them. So it's not that you're doing any sort of, you know, oh, that's, you know, crappy marketing and you're poking the bear, you're poking the pain point, right? And I don't like that idea. No, it's that you're solving the pain point, but you're just, you know, kind of making people more aware of that. Yeah, I do have that pain point. You're right. In fact, that's why I Googled what you do. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great tactic. It's a great marketing strategy because, again, you are not a slimy salesperson. You are giving them a great service that's actually going to solve their pain point.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you need to remember, we are living in a world of distraction. Everyone has a 10-second attention span. And unless you can bring out the pain and they go, oh man, you're right. I hate that. I want that to go away. That's the only way to get, one of the only ways to get their attention, just get them to stop scrolling through their phone and actually take action and go, I need to solve this now, right? By bringing up the pain, you get them to take action. Understand that. So then what you need to do is you need to show them what life will be like after that pain point is solved. So we're not just making them feel bad. We're just reminding them of why they want a change in their life. And then we're showing them this is the change you're going to have, right? So if maybe you're a residential house cleaner and it's like, I don't have time to clean my house. It's a mess. It's a clutter. There's dishes everywhere. It's disgusting. And I hate being in my house because of it. Excellent. That's the pain point. Now show them, guess what? When we come in and we take care of it for you, it's like the magic, like cleaning fairies just show up and shoot, everything is taken care of and your house is beautiful. And instead of you being so upset about your house and trying to clean everything and not having the time to do it, you're sitting on the couch or you're playing with your kids in the backyard because your house is clean, right? Show them what life is going to be like when they have your solution, and that's what they're going to buy, because they're not really trying to buy your solution. They're trying to buy the result that they're going to get from the solution.
And that's the funny part about it is that people, they're like, you take a residential cleaner, for instance. You know, we've worked with thousands of them. So I've seen thousands of websites and thousands of marketing pieces for these residential cleaners. And, you know, the funny thing is you very rarely, you know, who's good at it is the restoration industry. And I'll jump into why, but it's like the residential side, everything on their website, it's like, it's a clean, pristine, perfect home, perfect house, perfect room. You know, everything is shown as clean and pristine. I love that. That's yes, that is the end result. However, they never talk to the pain point. I try so hard to guys, let's show the messy room as a before the merry fairy maids came in, you know, and then boom, after the maids came in. And it's like, you don't just need to show the end result, show the pain point, and say, you know, are you tired of having a messy, dirty, filthy house? Do you have animals in there that, you know, that you love to death and they are a member of the family, but you're just so tired of their hair being all over every piece of furniture? You know, I mean, you can show it and then speak to it, right? Which is kind of poking at it, and then have the end result of like, and we're the solution for that.
Yep.
But they don't ever do that. And so, like I was saying in restoration, the one thing I like about restoration is like you go to a restoration website and you're seeing the disaster, right? Usually they're showing you the disaster right away. They're showing you the flooded room. They're showing you, the burning house or the whatever. They're showing you the disaster. They do a good job of that. And then they tell you, hey, I'm the solution. We're the solution. Look at what we can do. I like remodel companies do it too. They'll show a beautiful picture right off the bat, sure, of a great kitchen, but they'll show very quickly before and afters, right?
Yep.
So show the pain point, but again, in your minds, think about talking about the pain point. Talk about it, address it, speak to them frankly. And people are just common people. We're all common people. When I read something and it resonates with me because it just is said very common, I'm like, that's common sense. That makes sense. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yep. I want that,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads right into the next one. We want to create trust through empathy, right? We want to use phrases like, I can see your pain. I can understand your pain. I am here to help. I started doing this because I wanted to help people just like you. Or even better, I wanted to help people just like you and me, right? I was in this same situation, So the more that you can show them empathy, right? And that you understand and that you're like them, the more they're going to want to trust you and use your services. And then the final thing is make sure that you use social proof to show that the pain will go away, right? So like Trevor said, you have those before and after pictures. If you can utilize that with remodel, this is what it looked like before, 1970s kitchen versus beautiful kitchen now. This is the house before, literally on fire, beautiful home now with the kids playing in the front yard, right? How can you show them that their pain is going to go away? Right. So another way you can do that is not just with images, but with case studies is a great way to do it. Let me show you this experience of our clients. This is what they happened to them. This was their pain. This is the result after we solved their pain for them. Another great way to do that is your reviews, right? The more reviews you have, the where you display your reviews, showing them all of these happy customers that are saying they took my pain away, right? They solved my problem. And then, of course, above and beyond just images would be videos, right? Any videos that you can get of your clients sharing their experience with your company is going to be worth 1,000, if not 1,000,000 pictures out there, right? So make sure that you're working on getting those videos as well. Anything you want to add, Trevor, before we hit the homework?
It's funny because I'll tell you what, it really does work. Just the other day, I saw this ad basically that was for these things called carnivore snacks. Okay. And this is the perfect example because it's what people are willing to spend once you portray that you understand the problem, you identify their problem, you address, and then the fact that you address the problem, people are willing to pay money. So I see this ad the other day and it's like, do you struggle getting the protein that you need per day? Are you trying to be fit? Are you trying to be healthy? Are you trying to have a good, healthy snack? But it's like you go to the store and everything is crap and you need a certain amount of protein, or you're just trying to get a lot of protein into your diet, but you're always on the go and you're a busy person and there's just nothing out there that really will suffice. And I mean, it just went on. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Oh, I would love to have more protein in my day. Yeah, I don't have time to cook every single day. Yeah, I do eat out often, and oh man, I'm definitely not consuming great snacks during the day. They're doing, and I'm just like, yes. I'm right. It's the old yes. And then they're like, well, this is carnivore snacks. And it's basically, and it's SNAX, carnivore snacks. And if anyone's going to go look at it, trust me, it looks awesome. I don't know. I'll get it soon here. But I ordered it. It's basically like steaks or burgers, or like they take different types of meats and they cut them up thin, they age them and they cut them up thin and they make it almost like jerky, but it's literally just beef, pork, chicken, and salt. is how they do it. And I guess they dry it out and they turn it like jerky. I don't know how they do it, but basically it's meat and real salt from the Real Salt Company out of Utah. And they're like, so there's nothing in there. There's 2 ingredients, and so then you're like, wow, this really is, this will be a great healthy snack. It'll fill you up. It talks about how it fills you up and, you're going to get your protein in, blah, blah. Anyways, so you're just like, yes, 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 yes. Go to order. And you're like, holy crap, I just dropped like $230 on like this, and I've got these snacks, these carnivore snacks coming, man. I'm super excited, but it was expensive. And I'm telling you, what's funny is, so boom, then let's see if we can show this off. Oh, it's not showing very well. It's not coming in. But they immediately send out, before I got my snacks or anything like that, I got something in the mail about it with another 15% off. Anyways, they're awesome. And I mean, I bought ribeye steaks that are sliced thin like jerky, basically, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, yeah, I dropped over $200 for like these snacks that honestly isn't that much, which is kind of like, I'm like, but if I love them and it works, I'll probably order again. So when you talk about the pain point, just going back to what we're talking about today, people are willing to spend more when they are confident. I mean, I can go and get beef jerky anywhere, but I've also done the research and I know that beef jerky's crap. It's full of crap, So again, the people who are searching for your services have probably done some sort of research, right? They know the pain point and they want a solution and they want to trust that solution. So I love everything that Troy covered today, like reviews, case studies, videos, really focusing on the problem, poking the problem, and then showing them that you are the solution. And this goes all the way back to Joe Polish days, when he would teach the carpet cleaners. He was just doing carpet cleaners back then. And he would tell them right away, look, show them that you are the solution to their problem and immediately raise your prices. And he did. He had people, and people were like, oh, I can't do that. And people raised their prices and they grew their businesses. It was amazing. I mean, that was literally one of the first things he had them do when they joined his group, was raise prices after bettering, like showing in their marketing better that they are the solution to the problem.
Yes.
And it worked time after time after time. And man, Joe Polish, he blew up and he went on to do the, what's the bigger group that he does now? Do you remember the name of that one?
The
Genius Network.
Genius Network.
I mean, he grew it, and I mean, big people in there. So it works. It worked for his people, and it worked for the other group as well. So anyways, guys, all right, you get the idea. Let's jump into homework. Identify the biggest pain point your potential clients face and create at least one marketing strategy to help you market your solutions to their problems. That's it. Focus, refocus. I bet you are focused on the solution and probably not very well focused on the problem, but they go hand in hand. And it's the problem first, then the solution. All right, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. And we will check you guys out on the next episode of So Tell Us Time.